Mm,
like I like to think about myself that I am a strong woman, right? Like we
mm,
train, we're strong and everything.
mm,
And I think sometimes being vulnerable like that is seen as being weak, but I
mm,
think it's exactly the opposite. Like you know, if you become vulnerable like that and you speak about it, it actually
mm,
makes you stronger. So I was like, I need to put it out there because it might help someone. And I actually had loads of messages of people saying
mm,
they feel exactly the same, but they didn't talk to anyone, or they
mhm,
didn't want to admit it and stuff like that. So I think it did help people that I put it out there, that even someone like me, who
mhm,
is, fitness is my whole life, and competitions and everything, even someone like me goes through something normal like that. So
mm.
that's the reason why I put it out there.
Welcome to Q's Health and Wellness Podcast, your source for living a healthier lifestyle and developing a better mind, body, and soul. Through guidance, tips, and stories of highly successful fitness gurus, athletes, and individuals who are passionate about enhancing all aspects of life, we provide you with the tools to help you take your lifestyle to another level. And now your host, Quinn Mitchell.
Welcome to Q's Health and Wellness Podcast. This is your host, Quinn Mitchell. Today I have Hen once again. Thanks for coming on the show.
Hi, how you doing? All good?
I'm doing good. So since the last time we spoke, I know I forgot to mention this, but you are also the owner of the Gym Lounge. Is that in the UK as well?
Yes, right, in London.
Yeah. So how's that been
Our
going for you?
little fitness studio. Yeah. Well, it's been a bit challenging, obviously, due to the situation in the world currently, because the Gym Lounge is our personal training studio and group training. So
Mm,
obviously, with COVID and stuff, we are not able to run like the group training and the classes and everything,
mm.
but we managed to adapt and transfer all of this online. So we're
Oh,
just
that's awesome.
functioning basically all via Zoom and doing online boot camps and online classes and still training together, just in different
Hmm.
environment basically.
No, I seen one of your posts on IG. You were on the bike killing it, and you had your whole setup. So that was awesome.
You have to adapt. Yeah, that's it. That's exactly it.
Yeah. So
Fitness doesn't stop. The world might
nah,
have stopped, but fitness doesn't stop.
yeah. So for people that's listening, the reason why I wanted to bring him back on the show is because a lot of people are going through something. I mean, especially with COVID going on and dealing, they're in the house. Even if they don't work out, it's still the topic of mental health. And if you don't mind just speaking on what you went through during this process, if you don't mind.
Well, I've been all right. Like,
Mm-hmm.
we've been in this position now for almost a year,
Mm-hmm.
aren't we? So, when it all started, it was okay. It was just about basically adaptation, and like I said, trying to adapt business-wise, and obviously gym clothes and everything. I'm I wasn't in the worst situation because obviously I've got my studio, so I'm still able to train and everything. But
Mm-hmm.
um, I know from my clients and obviously people I talk to, lots of people are struggling with this because training from home, especially if you're used to gym and smashing the weights in the gym and everything, it's not the same training at home. So I
Mm-hmm.
totally get the struggle, and I think lots of people are going through this struggle right now.
Yeah.
So yeah, but personally, it's been up and down. Maybe it's a bit catching up with me now, like
Mm-hmm.
that. Not, I don't like to say no motivation because I actually hate the word motivation because people
Mm-hmm.
use motivation as an excuse. Oh, I don't have motivation, I can't be training. But I think especially now is the most important to just keep yourself going however you can, really.
Mm-hmm.
Like, even if it's just remaining active, even if it's just like going for walk or doing a little bit like from home, is still better than completely switching everything off, because that mentally is just tough.
Mm-hmm.
So
No,
I
no,
think we have to embrace what's happening and just try
mm,
try to get ourselves going as
no.
best as we can, really.
Yes. So I know with some of the clients that I used to train, I know with them personally, they like when you're working out or even before the whole COVID situation even happened, it's like when you're working out, you're trying to get your body better. That's one thing.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
also there's a whole nother side that not a lot of people really
Oh
talk
yeah.
about. is the mental side and making
Exactly.
sure you actually feel good about yourself as a human being. So can you just talk about
Exactly.
that a little bit?
So that's actually what I'm going through right now. So, like I'm a bikini competitor as well. So obviously in my career and being a personal trainer and everything, it's all about progress, right? So you just want to be better and better and better. But recently, obviously the whole situation, I think it hit me a little bit. So at the moment, rather than trying to be better and progressing and beating myself in the gym, like beating the numbers in the gym and just everything, I would say that I'm currently going through the phase that I am literally training just for my mind. Like at the moment, my biggest goal is keeping myself sane. That is what I'm trying to do at the moment. Like just, yeah, it's not so much about at the moment. It's not about, building the muscle and progressing and, just growing. It's more about, I just want to feel good. I just want to make myself feeling a little bit better, because let's be honest, every time you train, you feel better after. Like no matter how much you don't want to train, and that's what's happening in the moment. Like I literally have zero motivation to even go and lift weights or to train or something, but I still go and do it, even if it's just for half an hour, because mentally it just makes me better. It just makes, once you start moving and everything, like, so that is the biggest goal at the moment for me, and I think for lots of people as well. Like sometimes you just have to forget that, you're trying to grow or build muscle or all those fitness goals. Sometimes it is just for your mind. And people say sometimes it is a therapy, and it's true. Like that's what I'm going through at the moment. It's just literally I'm doing it for my mind mainly at the moment.
And I appreciate you even coming on the show and talking about this, because when you had posted on your page and I reached out to you, I know
Yeah.
personally that a lot of people go through this, but not
Yeah.
everybody speaks about it. So it
Yeah.
eats them alive in silence. So the fact that you coming on the show and talking about it I appreciate 100%. So how important do
Thank
you
you.
actually think mental health is? Like, is this something that you just recently like started battling with, or is this something that maybe has been in the back of your mind like your whole life? Like, how was it for you?
So I think I've mentioned it in my post as well. Like, obviously, I know, and I've known my whole life, and since I got into fitness even more, that mental health is very important. But I've never had experience with like not being 100% with my mental health, because I've always been like, okay, like I didn't really know anxiety. I didn't know, like or like bad mental health. I never knew that until now, basically. Like, and I don't know if it's the situation in the world or because I needed to, stress from the adaptation and trying to get the business going no matter what. I don't know if it's like combination of all of this. But this is the first time that I'm experiencing stuff that is affecting my mental health. So that's why I decided to put it out there, because I didn't know what anxiety was. I didn't know what was happening. So I'm not gonna lie, I was thinking first, like, should I even put it out there? Because like, I like to think about myself that I am a strong woman, right? Like, we train, we're strong and everything. And I think sometimes being vulnerable like that is seen as being weak, but I think it's exactly the opposite. Like, if you become vulnerable like that and you speak about it, it actually makes you stronger. So I was like, I need to put it out there because it might help someone. And I actually had loads of messages of people saying they feel exactly the same, but they didn't talk to anyone, or they didn't want to admit it and stuff like that. So I think it did help people that I put it out there, that even someone like me, who is, fitness is my whole life, and competitions and everything, even someone like me goes through something normal like that. So that's the reason why I put it out there.
And like I said, that's awesome, because I know me personally, and when I played college basketball, there was a time like during my senior year, where like I had a similar situation myself, and like I said, a lot. And when you go through something like this, it's
Yeah.
you speak about it to other people. 9 times out of 10, they already been feeling like this, but they don't have the courage, or
Yeah.
they feel slighted,
Yeah.
or they're afraid to tell somebody. So I'm in the process of writing a book, my second book, and to literally
Oh,
have a
wow.
chapter just talking about the mental health and the things that even
Yeah,
college athletes go through that nobody speaks about. Because just think about it, you being a
absolutely.
fitness competitor, a bikini competitor, you always, I feel like you always have a certain amount of pressure on yourself that you have to perform, you have to go out and
Yes.
get the results.
Yes.
So when you don't
Yeah.
do this, or if you have a bad training that you come up short, that eats you a lot. And not
Yeah.
a lot of people talk about that.
Yeah. I
Hmm.
couldn't agree more. Exactly. That's exactly. It's a lot of pressure. It's a lot of pressure I put on myself as well. Like
Hmm.
in the new year, like my goal when I stopped competing towards the end of the year, my goal was like, okay, I'm going into off season and I'm going to be growing, and I still got my own gym, so I can be progressing because I'm not limited with equipment and stuff like that, like other people. So
Hmm.
the whole point and the whole goal, like I was ready to grow, like, and now I'm like on the other side, like it's just, so I needed to, it took me a while to come to terms with it, but I think I just need to get rid of that pressure in my head as well, that it is what it is. And now I need to take care of myself first, like mentally, before I get and start putting pressure on myself again. Like, I think
Hmm.
that was part of the problem as well. Sometimes we just need to take the step back.
So are there any, so now that I've seen you getting out of it, so are there any like special, even like routines that you go through daily, or even like something that you do just to, I know working out, you said eases your mind a little bit, but is there anything else that you would advise people that's going through this that they can do, if, let's say, if they don't work out?
Yeah, I think routine is the key to everything, really.
Mm,
But what I'm trying to do at the moment is build up the routine,
mm,
but step by step. I'm trying not to overwhelm myself with doing too many things at once, because I've got all these ideas that I want to do. I want to start, I want to get into meditation. I want to start
mm,
stretching daily. I want to start going for walks. But I think the key is not to do everything. Like I always say, the key is not to go from zero to hero. I always say that to clients, and now
mm,
I need to start applying it to myself as well. So I'm building it up slowly. It starts with, last week I started just introducing training again, because I haven't trained for about 3 weeks. Like I
mm,
was, like I just wasn't feeling it. It was just bad. I don't know, a little bit depressed,
mm,
anxiety and everything. So I'm starting to build up my routine with just getting into training again, 4 times, 5 times a week.
mm,
Once I've got that going, then I want to start just introducing some little walks, just even if it's just half an hour,
mm,
just get out fresh air, because especially now when we're stuck inside during lockdown and everything,
mm,
it is really hard. So I think getting out on fresh air is another thing that might be helping, just little walks. And definitely I would say meditation as well.
mm,
I'm getting into it now a little bit as well, just practicing, even if it's just like 10 minutes daily.
mm,
But also what helps me a lot is journaling.
mm,
So I've write down, like the stuff that maybe this week I want to do, stuff that I'm grateful for, you
mm,
know, no matter how bad the situation is, I always try to bring it back to gratitude as well, because there's always
mm.
stuff that we can be grateful for, So that's the routine I'm trying to build up now, like,
No,
all this together.
definitely. And I mean, even with my routine that I do every morning, I wake up and that's the first thing I do. I have a journal, and I write down everything that I'm grateful for.
Yeah,
And
exactly. Yeah.
and after I do that, I see that, like, before I did it and I compare it to me doing it now, like my days just become much better, because when you start
Yeah,
to realize everything, like how blessed you are in the situation, like things in the world
exactly.
don't
Yeah,
really bother you as much as they used to.
absolutely. Yes, exactly.
Mm,
It sounds like a very simple thing, like a very basic thing, simple thing, but it does help. Like
mm.
it's big. So yeah, definitely.
So is this something that now that you talk to your clients about? 'Cause I know you have clients that you train. So is this something
Yeah.
now or in the near future that you're going to implement in your training? Like, besides the physical stuff, are you going to just starting to include mental health as well?
I think I've always been towards my clients, like
Mm,
my coaching and everything is much more than just training and diet plan, because
mm-hmm,
I see fitness as everything else. It's not just training. When
mm,
you say fitness, people imagine just training and that's it. I think fitness is the way you think,
mm,
obviously the nutrition, what you're putting into your body, not just eating, but what you're reading, what you're watching, what kind of people you're with and stuff like that. So
mm,
I think I've always been like inclined towards this, that fitness is just everything was happening in our life. So I've always
gotcha.
been more than training and diet with my clients,
Mm-hmm,
because we're human and we always go through things.
mm-hmm,
Life happens to each one of us. So when it comes to my clients, we always have like coaching calls as well, where they can actually speak to me about what's
mm,
happening, in their lives. Like talking helps. So no matter what that is, I'm there for them. It's not just
mm,
about, okay, how many reps, how many sets did you do, and how
mm,
does your training look like? I'm interested in knowing like what's happening in their life as well, and they have opportunity to talk to me and feel better mentally as well. So that's the
mm,
thing that we're doing more and more now. It's just talking. People sometimes are scared to talk, but it
mm.
does help.
And that's what I like about you, because like if you really look at all the fitness quote unquote trainers out there, a lot of them are just there to get their money and leave. They're not
Yeah,
really
yeah,
invested in the clients and actually get to know them. Because like I said, I had people like before my schedule got this crazy, when I was training clients, like I would actually talk to them and get to know them, and they would be like, Quinn, I'm breaking down mentally. And they would never tell
yeah,
me that if I wasn't invested
yeah,
in them and if they don't have that trust with me.
exactly.
And I think
Yeah.
a lot of times there's trainers out there, they don't build that trust with their clients. So somebody's not going to tell you how they're feeling mentally if they know you just there for the money.
Absolutely, absolutely, yes. And
Mm-hmm,
that's how I didn't want to be. Like since I started,
mm-hmm,
it's been 5 years now since I started in the fitness industry. I wanted this basically from the first point, that I don't just want to be training and diet plan and that's it. I want to be, I want to be more. I want to be not just a personal trainer. I want to be everything else as well.
mm-hmm,
So, yeah, and it 100% does help when you've got someone. I like to think about myself that I'm a coach, and coach is not just there for training and nutrition, but everything
mm-hmm.
else.
So with you having everything going for yourself, I know this is the last question I have for you.
Okay.
With you having everything going for yourself with the fitness, the coaching, with you even training yourself, would you say that writing everything down and planning throughout your day has helped you take a lot of pressures off of you, or do you do something else? Is there like another actually routine that you go through to help you take those constant pressures off you? Because I know myself, if I don't write everything down throughout the day that I have to do, it's like just a big mess for me, because I get so caught up with everything that's going on. It's like I just have so many things coming at me at once. So I have to literally write down a daily plan of everything that I have to do.
Yes,
So how's it for
yes.
you?
Exactly the same. Like
Mhm.
I was even joking the other day about a thing that I need to start walking everywhere with my notebook and pen, because I've got so many thoughts and there is always something going on in my head. And if I don't put it out there, if I don't write it down, then my mind is constantly just, my brain is constantly on the go. And
Mhm.
that's what was happening. And it was affecting my sleep as well. Because obviously
Mhm.
if you can't stop your brain, then, so I'm exactly like you. I need to put it out. I need to write it down. Like now, daily in the evening, I just look at, okay, how is my day going to look like tomorrow? And what do I need to do? I try not to do too many things at the moment,
Mhm.
because again, then that it might have the opposite effect and I might get stressed because I didn't get everything done. So I try
Mhm.
to keep it, you know, those smart goals and achievable goals like
Mhm.
daily. So I'll write it down, and then it makes me feel better as the day goes. I just tick it off, this is done, and the mind is clear. And
Mhm.
yeah, 100% writing down. I think that's the biggest thing for me.
Now, and like I said, I appreciate you coming on the show and just even chatting with me, because I know
Thank
we
you
did a
for having
podcast
me.
before.
Yeah.
But it's just having this simple conversation is just going to help so many others, I feel like, because like I said, a lot of people are going through this. even if even if training with people, but they're not comfortable enough to even tell the people that you're training with that they're going through this stuff. So just having you on
Yeah,
the show, having experience and so in the fitness industry, and allowing people to see that it's okay, because even you go through it, and me myself, I've gone through it. So having
absolutely.
this.
I think everyone has. I think everyone has. Not
Mhm.
everyone has spoken about it, but I think a lot of people are going through it. So yeah, I think the more we talk about it, it's just going to become a normal thing, and people are going to talk about it more and feel better about it. I
Gotcha.
think that's the
If
whole
anybody
point. Yeah.
and if anybody has any questions, or if they want to reach out to you, would you mind just keep dropping your Instagram or a link that they can contact you at?
Absolutely. So I'm the most active, I would say, on Instagram. So it's just my name, Hen Supekova. Like I said in my post last time as well, when I was talking about this, my DMs are always open. So if anyone just wants to talk, I know I might be a stranger for someone, but sometimes it does help, just to talk to someone who's going through the same thing.
Hmm.
Or I'm on LinkedIn as well, quite active. Again, it's just my name, Hen Supekova, so you can reach me there as well.
And like I said,
And
I
I'm,
appreciate
you
you.
know,
I appreciate you coming on the show. Like I said, we've been in contact over a year now, and you've always been good to me. And like I said, I appreciate you coming on
thank you, Quinn.
advice.
I appreciate you having
Yeah,
me. Thank you.
no problem. And make sure you stay
Happy
safe
to
over
share all this.
there. No problem. Have a good rest of your day.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining us on this episode of Q's Health and Wellness Podcast. Don't forget to subscribe or to leave us a review on iTunes or the listening platform of your choice. Also, please check us out at QuinnMitchellII.com, as well as find us on Instagram for more useful content and resources.